children, today we are going to discuss about another new topic in the transportation, that is about structure of the heart. Okay, structure of the heart, the external structure and internal structure of the heart. And we also discussed in the previous video, transportation is one of the important organal system. Okay, and this transportation, which is also called as circulatory system, is very important organal system of entire human body. And this circulatory system is mainly made up of many parts. In that, the important parts are heart, blood and blood vessels. Okay, the circulatory system is mainly made up of three important parts. What are that? Blood, heart and blood vessels. These are the three main parts of the circulatory system. Okay, in the human beings or any other living organisms, heart is an important organ. Is it right? Yes, heart is an important organ. Why we are calling the heart is an important organ? Because without heart, whenever the heart it stops functioning, what will happen? It leads to the end of our life. Is it right? That's why heart is very important organ. It needs to function. It has to continue its function till the end of the life. Okay, until we die, the heart has to function well without taking any rest. Okay, that's why in today's class we are going to discuss about the structure of the heart. Okay, as it is very important organ, it need to function continuously throughout our life. Then if you see the structure of the heart, exactly the structure of the heart resembles to a pear fruit. Do you know pear fruit? Yes. The uppermost part of the pear fruit is very broader and the lower part is narrow. Okay. As like pear fruit, the heart, the upper part of the heart is broader and the lower part of the heart is narrow. That's why we just tell the structure of the heart, it just resembles to a pear fruit. And where it is located? It just located in our thoracic cavity. In our thoracic cavity and between the lungs towards the left side of our body. Okay. And if we talk about the structure and if we talk about the size of the heart, it just approximately equal to the fist of a person. Okay, fist of a person. If you close your fingers, you may get one fist. Okay, that fist, how much size it is having, that much size heart we have inside our body. Okay, approximately the size of the heart is equal to the fist of a person. Okay, then if we talk about the different external structures, external features of the heart, exactly here we need to discuss about how the heart is getting protection. Okay, as it is located in our thoracic cavity, in the thoracic cavity, it just made up of a rib cage. Okay, the rib cage, it is giving protection to the heart. Okay, rib cage is giving protection to the heart. Then along with the rib cage, the heart itself also get protection by two membranes called as pericardial membranes. What we are calling pericardial membranes. The heart is covered with two membranes. Okay, two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. The outer membrane is called as outer pericardial membrane and the inner membrane is called as inner pericardial membrane. And in between the two membranes of the heart, It just, here we are able to find a fluid, and that fluid is called as pericardial fluid. Okay, heart is covered by two membranes. One is, the outer one is outer pericardial membrane, and the inner one is inner pericardial membrane. In between the two membranes, it just filled with a fluid, and that fluid is called as pericardial fluid. Pericardial fluid. Okay. Then what is the function of these pericardial membranes and fluids? They give protection to the heart from physical injuries. Okay. They also involve in the function that is giving protection to the heart from physical injuries. Okay, very good. Then if we talk about the heart, the structure of the heart, exactly in mammals, especially in the mammal's heart, it just divided into 4 chambers. The heart of the mammals have 4 chambers. We may call them as rooms also. If you take one building or a house, how like we have different rooms, in the same manner, here we have a house, and that house may contain 4 rooms. In the same manner, if you imagine your heart as a house, it just made up of 4 rooms. And here we are calling that rooms as chambers. Okay. And the upper chambers of the heart. Okay. Upper chambers of the heart we are calling as atriums. What we are calling? Atriums. And some other people also called as auricles. Okay. Atriums or auricles. Both are same. Okay. This side. What is this? Right atrium or right auricle. Whatever convenient to you, you may use that. Here I am telling that right atrium. Okay. And this one left atrium. If we come to the down 2 chambers, one is a right ventricle. This one is right ventricle, and this one is left ventricle. Okay. Right ventricle and left ventricle. And these 2 atrium and the right atrium and right ventricle are separated from the left atrium and left ventricle by the help of a muscular valve. By the help of a muscular valve, and that valve we are calling as septum. What we are calling? Septum. Okay. The 2 chambers, the right side 2 chambers like atrium and ventricles are separated from the left atrium and ventricle by the help of a muscular valve in the middle, and that muscular valve is called as septum. Okay, septum. Okay, if we talk about the heart, here the mammalian heart have 4 chambers. And the uppermost 2 chambers are called as atriums, and the lower 2 chambers are called as ventricles. Okay, this one is left atrium, this one is right atrium. Here, this is right ventricle and this is a left ventricle. These 2 atrium and ventricle is separated from the left side atrium and ventricle by the help of a muscular valve, and that muscular valve is called as septum. Then what about the opening between the left atrium and left ventricle? Here also we have a opening, and here also we have another opening, and these 2 openings are also protected by the help of another type of valves. What are that? You just remember here, okay, the left side atrium and ventricle is separated by a valve called as bicuspid valve. What is that? Bicuspid valve. Okay, here in order to remember in a perfect manner, you just remember this LBL. Okay, LBL. LBL. Low body level, whatever it is. For your remembrance, you may call this one as LBL. L means left atrium, this one bicuspid valve, and this one left ventricle. Then you are easily remember which kind of valve is present between left side atrium and ventricle by the help of a bicuspid valve. Here the bicuspid valve, it just contains two pipes. Okay, it just connected with two pipes. That's why we call this one as a bi. If we talk about the opening between right side atrium and ventricle, it is also protected by another type of valve. That is called as tricuspid valve. What is that? Tricuspid valve. This tricuspid valve, it may contain three pipe-like structures. That's why we call this one as tricuspid. For this, you just remember RTR. Here R means right atrium, T means tricuspid valve, again R means right ventricle. Okay, if you remember like this, then you are able to remember which name the valve which is present between a right atrium and ventricle. Then you may remember right RTR. R means right atrium, T means tricuspid valve, again R means right ventricle. If they ask about name the valve which is located in between left atrium and left ventricle, then you need to remember LBL. Left atrium, B means bicuspid valve, again L means left ventricle. Okay, like that we have to remember. I think you understand well. Here the heart is in the shape of a pear fruit. The upper end is broader and the lower end is narrow. Okay, and it is getting protection by the help of rib cage, and it is also covered by pericardial membrane and pericardial fluid to get protection from physical injuries. Okay, and the atriums of one side, atrium and ventricle of right side is separated from the left atrium and ventricle by the help of a muscular valve called as septum. And these two atrium and ventricles which are present left side of the heart separated by a valve called as bicuspid valve. It is also called as left atrioventricular valve. Left atrio, it is atrium. Ventricular, that is ventricle. We are calling the bicuspid valve as left atrioventricular valve. If we talk about this tricuspid valve, it is also called as right atrioventricular valve. Okay, is it clear? Not only this, here we need to discuss about another important points. What are that? Okay, if we talk about the another important points here, we need to discuss about the blood vessels which are attached to the heart. Okay, the blood vessels which are attached to the heart. Okay, if we see different blood vessels, they just have connection with atriums. Okay, what are that? Here, if you see this one, the major part, this one is called as artery. Okay, this one is artery. What artery it is? It is also called as systemic aorta. What is this? Systemic aorta. The large artery of the heart is called as aorta, and it is also, as it is very big, we call this one as systemic aorta. And this part which is in the shape of T, this part we are calling as pulmonary artery. This one is the big one and this one is the small artery. Okay, pulmonary artery. If you see here, these two veins, these are veins, pulmonary veins. These are also veins, pulmonary veins. If you see the major, the big veins are called as inferior. The vein which is located near to the anterior part of the heart. Here, anterior means the top part of the heart is called as superior vena cava. And the vein which is located near to the posterior part of the heart, means bottom of the heart, is called as inferior vena cava. Another name of this superior vena cava is precaval vein. Precaval vein. Superior vena cava is also called as precaval vein. And the inferior vena cava is also called as postcaval vein. Postcaval vein. Then what are the functions? And these are the semilunar valves. These are the semilunar valves present in the pulmonary artery. Okay, if we talk about the function of different blood vessels which are attached to the heart. First, we are going to discuss about the big artery. What is that? Aorta. Systemic aorta. The function of systemic aorta is to send oxygenated blood to all parts of our body. Okay, all parts of our body able to receive blood from systemic aorta. What is the function of systemic aorta? The systemic aorta send blood to all. What variety of blood it is sending? Oxygenated rich blood to all parts of the body. If we talk about the small artery, which is called as pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery, the function of pulmonary artery is to send blood to what kind of blood? Deoxygenated blood. Here, the systemic aorta contains oxygen-rich blood, oxygenated blood. But the pulmonary artery, it may contain deoxygenated blood and it is capable to send that blood to lungs. Deoxygenated blood will be sent from the heart to lungs by the help of what variety of artery? Pulmonary artery. Actually, all the arteries, they involve in sending of blood to different parts of the body. And they may contain oxygenated blood. Except one artery. What is that artery? That is pulmonary artery. Remaining all arteries, they may contain oxygenated blood. But pulmonary artery, it may contain deoxygenated blood. Okay, if we talk about pulmonary veins. Actually, pulmonary veins, what is the function of pulmonary normal veins? They just collect deoxygenated blood from different parts of our body. But here one exception is there. Pulmonary veins, they just collect oxygen-rich blood, oxygenated blood from lungs. Okay, what is the function of pulmonary veins? To collect oxygenated blood from lungs. Okay, we all know that lungs are rich of oxygen. Whenever the blood enters into the lung, then the oxygen gaseous exchange takes place inside the alveoli. Then the lungs, they may send oxygen-rich blood to pulmonary veins. Okay, the function of pulmonary veins to collect blood from lungs. What kind of blood it is collecting? Oxygenated blood. Okay, it is time to discuss about vena cavas. Okay, pre-caval vein and post-caval vein. The superior vena cava, it collects deoxygenated blood from our head and neck. Okay, what is the function of superior vena cava? It just collects blood from our head and neck. Then what about the remaining parts of our body? Yes, remaining parts of our body also involves in several biochemical reactions, biological functions it may do, and they may release deoxygenated blood. That deoxygenated blood will be collected by inferior vena cava, post-caval vein. Okay. From where it is collecting? From the trunk of our body, like our hands, legs and abdominal cavity, from different parts of our body except head and neck. Remaining all parts deoxygenated blood will be collected by this inferior vena cava. By this you are capable to understand the left atrium and ventricles are rich of oxygenated blood, and the right atrium and ventricles, they may contain deoxygenated blood. Towards the left side of the heart, it contains oxygenated blood. Throughout the right side of the heart, it may contain deoxygenated blood. Okay, I think you understand well about the structure, external and internal structure of the heart and different blood vessels which are attached to the heart. Here you need to remember two things. If you imagine our heart is a house, the house is divided into 4 rooms and we are calling that rooms as chambers, and it may connected with 2 pipelines. Okay, it may connected with 2 pipelines. What are the 2 pipelines? Once imagine your house structure, then our house is just supplied with fresh water, and we also have another connection to remove sewage from our home, the wastewater from our home. Okay, for doing different activities we need fresh water. For drinking we need fresh water, for cleaning utensils, for washing clothes, for bathing, for doing different activities we need fresh water. After using the fresh water for different activities, then the fresh water it just converted into wastewater, sewage. And that wastewater, are we storing at our home? No. We just making the water to go away from our house by the help of pipes. Here, one side is pure and another side is waste. Okay. And this pure water carrying pipeline is called as artery. Okay, what we are calling arteries. And the pipeline which is carrying waste water is called as veins. I think you understand well now. Okay, in the same manner, if in the place of house, if you imagine your heart, then heart also connected with 2 pipelines. Here, instead of water, now we are going to discuss about blood. Okay, the pipeline which is containing oxygenated blood or arteries, and the pipeline which may contain deoxygenated blood called as veins. One exception, what is that? The pulmonary veins, they may contain oxygen rich blood, but the pulmonary artery, they may contain deoxygenated blood. That is the major difference. Remaining all arteries are rich of pure blood and remaining all veins are rich of deoxygenated blood. This thing you need to remember well in this topic. Okay. In the next session, we are going to discuss about another interesting topic. Still then, stay curious. Here our main motto of video classes is to understand better, not to gain good marks in the exam. You need to understand well about heart. Okay. Thank you for watching the video.